Tonight's matchup is brought to you by the famous Budweiser beer, brewed the hard way. The beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. This Bud's for you. LifeVantage, helping people achieve health, wealth, and personal freedom. By ESPN 700, the home of the Real Salt Lake and Monarchs soccer. Listen to every match by tuning into ESPN 700, Utah's #1 sports talk. By Valley Fair Mall. Valley Fair Mall has it all. And by Rio Tinto Kennecott. We invite you to take a closer look at riotintokennecott.com.
Fans, welcome to the beautiful Rio Tinto Stadium on this Saturday evening for this Western Conference matchup between the Tulsa Roughnecks and the Real Monarchs. I'm Landon Southwick, joined alongside my partner Sean Blymiller for the call of tonight's game, and this one should be an interesting one, Sean, with the Roughnecks really battling for their playoff lives and the Monarchs looking to just get some positive results here at home.
You're exactly right. The Roughnecks come into Rio Tinto with 31 points on the season with 22 games played. They lead the Western Conference in goals scored as well as number of shots per for the season. They have 295 shots thus far. They're really going to test the back line of the Monarchs tonight with Eric Oswald in net. His goal against average thus far this season is 1.17. He'll definitely want to keep that on the low end. We'll run through the starting lineup really quickly. Eric Oswald in the goal, Jordan Morrell, Emilio Orozco, Darian Copeland, Riley McGovern. In the back four, Lucas Baldin, Tyler Arnone, Alex Sunley, Ricardo Velasco are your midfielders. Emery Welshman and Maicon Oriana are your starting forwards for tonight. And for the visiting the Tulsa Roughnecks, in goal you have Jacob Feener. Across the back line, Stephen Miller, Ryan Price, Kyle Venter, Ayaviath Devoran, Henry Manibo, Chad Bono, Brad Belu, Christian Mata, and Adam Black make up the midfield, and Sammy Ochoa with the leading 6 goals up top.
And we're underway here at Rio Tinto Stadium, 37 seconds in to this one. So we got a touch of a late start here. Monarchs going to be moving from left to right wearing their claret and cobalt, while the Roughnecks are going to be in their white with a red trim. Baldin is the captain. He'll swing it wide to McGovern on the near side. McGovern last week missed the game because of a strep throat he was dealing with. Good to have him back on the field and have some consistency on the back line for the Monarchs.
You see Tyler Arnone. He started on the right back for Riley McGovern last week. Today he starts in that holding midfield role as Ovalle is away on international duty.
Oriana is going to pick it off. He's outside the 18. Dancing around, going to turn his defender, get to the goal line. His cross is going to be knocked out of play by the Roughnecks. The first corner of the evening for the Monarchs, as the captain, Lucas Baldin, will step to the near side to take this corner. Morrell is going to take the corner.
You see a bit of an urgency from the Monarchs early on in this match, Landon. Going forward, getting set pieces, getting a bunch of organization right from the start.
Morrell is going to whip things in. Just over the head of Orozco. Arnone's going to keep it in. Watch for the break here by the Roughnecks. They have numbers. Still moving forward. Ball's going to be played out wide. It's going to be knocked off of Copeland for a corner. Something, Sean, the Monarchs have to look out for is those counterattacks. They've been vulnerable to it all year. And really, this team is very capable of it, the Roughnecks.
Roughnecks have 38 goals on the season. You have Brady Balou and Sammy Ochoa, both with 6 goals each. The leading goal scorers, Brady Balou playing for Seattle University. Utah soccer fans saw him face off against Utah Valley University last summer.
Ball's going to be cleared out, kept in play, as Brady Balou tried to take that one into the air and volley it. His shot went wide of the goal for a goal kick for the Monarchs. Monarchs, like we mentioned, Sean, are a team that love to play out of the back, consistently going to play it from their keeper, to their holding and defensive midfielder.
One thing Freddie Juarez mentioned after last week's game against OC Blues, he said that they were too reliant at the back line keeping the ball. They needed the possession to come more out of the attacking third, middle third from the midfielders and forwards. Look to see more of that tonight.
Arnone with it to Baldine. Monarchs keeping possession well here early on. Morell's going to have it on the far side. Welshman yet to find really any space. Baldine to Sunley. Sunley with a nice little fancy footwork. Roughnecks, Sean, look content to give the Monarchs a little bit of possession here early on, as that pass from Baldine is going to be picked off. Ochoa.
Easy to recognize Ochoa with the bright pink boots tonight.
Former Seattle Sounder, Sean, a player that's a quality player and has scored in the last 2 games for the Roughnecks.
He actually scored against the San Jose Earthquakes in Casey Keller's final home match of his career with Seattle Sounders.
Arnone with it. He's one of those players that's very versatile, Sean. Has played in the midfield for the Monarchs and has played on the back line. Last week we saw him in the back line, and today he's tasked with the defensive holding mid position.
Yeah, I like to give him the term of destroyer. He's the type of player that likes to break the other team down in winning possession.
Monarchs, with another turnover in the midfield, have struggled in their passing here early on in this one. McGovern's going to clear that out of bounds.
There's McGovern's recovery speed we've seen so many times this season.
He's going to be out for a goal kick.
Landon brought up a good point. There's been 2 very vital passes. One from from Lucas Baldine, and the other one from Alec Sunley, giving up the ball in the high middle third, very susceptible to counterattacks in those situations. You want to take care of the ball.
Arnone with it. Monarchs, Sean, have switched their back line quite frequently, with the center backs changing almost every game, but Orozco's been one of those that has been there pretty consistently.
Yeah, he's been a solid performer, putting in 1,072 minutes overall this season. And Riley McGovern being the other stalwart with 1,335 minutes total. But the partnership has changed, so that can affect communication and relationships, figuring out who's going to step, who's going to cover. So we see our first injury.
Copeland looks to be checking for blood on his nose as he collided with Ochoa in the air. Trainer's going to be waved on. So there may be some blood on his nose, as you're looking at there. It's the refs speaking with him.
So we have a quick Stoddard being called onto the field for the first time tonight.
So a quick break. We'd like to welcome those of you watching in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you for joining the broadcast tonight on the YouTube channel. And as well, those locally listening in here on KMYU. 8 minutes into this one, still scoreless. Monarchs coming off a 2-1 loss at home, Sean, last week in a game that really was marred by the fight at the end of the game. Not something very pretty, and one of the Monarchs players paid the price with a 5-game suspension.
Yeah, Freddie Juarez in his post-game press conference talked about how that's not the club, that's not him, that's immaturity from the players, and we saw some apologies being delivered on social media from both Freddie Juarez, also the players involved. And they're very remorseful of what happened, what took place. But now we move on. Now we have to see how the Monarchs step up and perform with them being in the bottom of the standings in the Western Conference with just 12 points. Freddie Juarez did mention in that press conference as well that a lot of these players will now be fighting for a spot on this team, in this club for the following campaign in 2016 as well.
McGovern's going to switch in sitting centrally for the Monarchs. He'll sit along Orozco as Baldine's going to help a little bit. Welshman's in the box. Welshman. It's going to be cleared out by Price. It's going to be held in, though. Roughnecks looking to clear pressure and relieve pressure and struggling to do so early on.
It was a good delivery, good bending ball from Jordan Morrell with the inside of his left foot right onto the path of Emery Welshman that freed him into the box. His last touch just didn't set himself free. I think it was Kyle Venter that was able to get the final toe poke away.
Copeland's having to make the run from the near side to the far side to be near the fourth official to get back in this one.
So at the moment, Monarchs are playing a man down.
Ochoa gonna spray it out wide. It's gonna be a slip and a shot. It's gonna be deflected by Orozco as Stephen Miller got forward from the back and was able to get a shot off just outside the 18. We deflected for the second quarter of the match for the Roughnecks.
Stephen Miller has 3 goals and 1 assist on the season. He was part of the 2012 MLS supplemental draft picked up by Montreal Impact.
Ball's whipped in the box. Falls to the feet, but comes out. It's going to be whipped back in, and poor defending for the Monarchs. Looked like Ryan Price was sitting all by himself, and McGovern was able to get there just in time.
Ryan Price rises up all alone, gets his head on it. Fortunate for Monarchs that he's not able to put it on frame.
Have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news, live stats, and check out the new social media hub. Welshman over to McGovern. Possession has been in favor of the Monarchs here early on, but opportunities have probably more been towards the Roughnecks.
Yeah. Monarchs have done this all season long. They test the other team, keep the ball for long spells. They just have to take advantage of the opportunities like this.
Sunley's in. Play it back to Arnone. He's going to play it in the box. It's going to be over everybody and is going to go out for a throw-in just in front of the corner flag.
That right there is a prime example of what needs to improve. That good build-up play. You get a good spot to serve a ball into the box, and the service has to be of a better quality.
McGovern with good ups. Velasco is going to be taken out from behind.
Number 2, Manhibo commits the foul. He's from the Ivory Coast, just came over from the Clarkston SC Eagles in the NPSL.
Monarchs are looking to take the free quickly. They've done it twice and been pulled back both times. This official is going to be marking off 10. Baldine's going to take his time on this one. He's going to set up and try to play a ball into the box. Not too far out, probably about 40 yards out. Baldine's ball in the box. Cleared out by Venter. McGovern's going to hold it in for the Monarchs. Ball's going to find Morrell. Morrell's in. To Welshman. Welshman with a shot and a goal! Emery Welshman from the 18. Shot and a goal! 1-0 Real Monarchs here in the 13th minute of play.
This is just a quality and classy finish from Emery Welshman. The Guyanese is international. But you know what? I want to highlight Jordan Morrell's first touch. This switch that he receives and the touch he takes, he beats his defender with his first touch. Takes another touch to prep himself for a nice little slotted, easy pass to Emery Welshman's foot, and Emery just does everything perfectly right. Good first touch, inside bending ball with the inside of his foot to the far post. Leaves no chance for Jacob Fiener to get on the end of that.
Fiener had no chance as that one was put into the corner, side netting, And Welshman knew it was going in all day. He picked up his head, picked out that corner, and really just was an instant impact in this one as we're 14 minutes in. 1-0 Monarchs.
Landon, I think we're going to have a night of goals, goals, goals. The Roughnecks have scored 38 goals on the season, but they have given up 35. There's not many teams that have given up as many as they have. Monarchs have given up 30 goals on the season.
This official is to the book today, to the tee. Made sure that ball was stopped before it was played.
He's been very picky on 4 set pieces already.
Kind of particular here, 14 minutes in. Monarchs' possession finally paying off. It's a great switch of the field from the near side to the far side. And with Morel having a great first touch and being able to get it right to the feet of the waiting Emery Welshman, who puts the Monarchs up 1-0.
Which is good because he was due. He's had a couple of chances over recent weeks. It's good to see him to find the old onion bag and bury it in the back of the net.
You have to be pleased with that if you're Freddie Juarez. Now that they'll be tasked with holding this lead.
That's what Tyler Arnon does better than anyone on the team. I think he loves those tackles. He flies in with no fear at all. That's why I call him the destroyer.
Roughnecks coming off a big win here in the Rocky Mountain region over Colorado Springs, a 1-0 win. And like we mentioned, battling for their playoff lives as they sit in the 6th and final playoff spot here in the Western Conference.
They've already played 22 games. OC Blues has 2 games in hand and sits just a couple points behind. So it's so vital and important for Roughnecks to really, if they want to secure their place in the playoffs, they have to get points when they can. They're the best road team in the Western Conference with 5 wins, 3 ties.
Played in by the captain. Over the head of everybody, and will go across the end line for a goal kick for the Monarchs. So that foul was committed by Riley McGovern on the near side.
And going back to OC Blues is only a point behind the Tulsa Roughnecks. And like I said, they have 2 games in hand. Just behind them, you have the Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 that have 26 points. So that final spot's going to be a battle between a number of different teams.
Sean, both teams sitting in a 4-4-2 tonight, with the Roughnecks sitting in a traditional 4-4-2, and the Monarchs sitting with a diamond midfield. Baldine's going to be called for the high boot, I believe. Just across the midfield stripe. Quickly played into the box, just over the head of Christian Mata.
Well, that wasn't far off. Mata has 3 goals on the season. He was just a new signing June 25th, 2015. Played 557 minutes. Played at Tulsa University there. Had 10 goals, 7 assists between 2012, 2013. Adds to the firepower between him and Sammy Ochoa.
You'll notice, Sean, the Monarchs making a little bit of an adjustment without Rauhofer up top. Normally, Welshman and Rauhofer can win balls played up forward, but the Monarchs not even looking to do that tonight, as every goal kick so far has been played short.
Yeah, Max Rauhofer, El Tank, does well in the air at 6'1", 190 pounds to hold defenders off and play that target forward role, but with Emery Welshman and Maicon Oriana both being shorter, they elect to play more to feet.
Ball is going to be on the near side. Venter with it. Roughnecks trying to string together some possession. 18 minutes into this one. 1-0 Monarchs on a 12th minute goal by Emery Welshman of an assist by Jordan Morel. Miller with it.
Jordan Morel arguing with the officials that he thought that was played off Stephen Miller's foot.
Morrell with the good ups to win that one. Out of bounds just in front of the Roughnecks bench. Morrell will throw it in for the Monarchs. Looking forward to the local product, Mikey Oriana, a Provo native, originally from El Salvador. Sunley does a great job defensively to keep that one in.
It's a good step from Jordan Morrell. Good timing on that. Just like to see if he could maybe keep a hold of that ball. Timing on the step was perfect to intercept it. Maybe he just steps on it to keep possession.
Copeland's going to be called for the foul on Mata as he had two hands in the back of Mata and sends him to the turf.
Just a week ago, the Roughnecks were in Arizona United, won 6-3. It's tied 1-1 at halftime. We'll see if we have the same type of firepower tonight in goals.
Free kick. Quickly played in. Just over the head of everybody. Looking for Ryan Price. He seems to be the target so far on free kicks. And he's found himself free twice. Was almost free on that one if the ball would have been played closer to his foot. He probably could have got a shot on goal.
Ryan Price stands at 6 foot, 185 pounds. You also have Sammy Ochoa stands at 6'1", and he's listed at 215 pounds. That's a big, solid guy.
Ball's going to be played forward. Won by Velasco. Great touch by Welshman. Welshman gets around the first defender. Play it wide to Oriana. Oriana with a shot. Will be scooped up by Jake Feener. Will be quickly played to the near side. Become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. Ball is going to be just over the head of Miller and out of play in front of the Roughnecks bench.
Just misjudged the bounce with the wet surface. Bounces right over the top of the head of Stephen Miller's head.
22 minutes into this one. Monarchs lead 1-0 here at the beautiful Rio Tinto Stadium on a Saturday evening. Sean, you can't but help but notice here early on the Monarchs are doing a great job of possessing. The diamond is kind of tearing up that 4-4-2 they're facing, that flat line that the Roughnecks are playing.
Yeah, the Roughnecks are having a hard time figuring out how to break that down, but a lot of the possession is in that middle third. Trying to find that penetrating ball into the attacking third needs to happen more often for the Monarchs to find more successful chances at having shots on goal.
Looked to be a foul as Velasco got clipped from behind by Sammy Ochoa.
I don't know if it was a clip, it was a full bulldoze from Sammy Ochoa from behind.
Copeland looking forward to Welshman. Welshman looks to be in just in front of him. Yeah, that ball falls a foot closer to him, and he's getting a shot off on goal.
Yeah, he maybe even reaches his foot up and gets a slight touch, changes the direction of the ball. Could have a chance on goal.
Ball's on the near side. Played forward to Balu. To Ochoa. Ochoa has Miller. Streaming forward. Miller's shot. What looked to be a cross, actually, Sean. It wasn't quite a shot. Was just put across the 6. Not a bad ball. Did not find the feet of anybody, though.
Yeah, he didn't strike it clean. It was a bending ball. He probably was definitely argue that it was a cross because it goes across the face of the goal.
Mata looked to be charging in, but he was covered pretty tightly by a Monarch defender.
Yeah, it looked like Darian Copeland did a nice little shoulder bump to make sure Christian Mata didn't have a free lane right to that ball.
Baldine with lots of space in the midfield. You can't help but notice that as well. There's space for these midfield players of the Monarchs so far.
Well, you see the Roughnecks dropping way off. Their line of confrontation is not very high up the field.
Morel looking to get back as Baloo's going to play it in. Over the head of everybody. Be a throw in for the Monarchs on the near side.
You do not want to allow Baloo to calibrate his crosses like that, where he gets enough time to set his feet and put balls, dangerous services into the box like that. If you do, he's shown to punish opponents, being one of the leading assist leaders for Seattle University in the WAC conference.
Morel, the Orangeman, is going to be knocked off the ball. Roughnecks transitioning quickly. Shot by Adam Black. Ambitious at best from about that distance as he knocks that one wide of the goal.
Yeah, he spent some time in England in their fourth-tier professional leagues with Accrington Stanley Football Club, and then last season was with the Austin Aztecs. That's Adam Black, and he has 3 goals, 1 assist so far this season.
Orozco to Baldine.
See Jordan Morel on this side. If they spring him a bit earlier, sneaking in behind.
You know, Sean, it looks like Freddie Juarez is looking for him to play on that touchline. He is standing on the paint, getting his feet wet. Sunley's going to be able to get to it. Looked like a shove from behind, but play's going to move on. So Choa is throwing his weight around, hitting people left and right.
It looks like a safety in the secondary of a football match.
Velasco's pass is just going to be behind Baldine. 27th minute of play. Mata. Defended by Orozco. Mata gets around Orozco to Ochoa. Ochoa with the shot and a goal! Sammy Ochoa finds the back of the net to level things up. 1-1 here in the 27th minute of play.
You saw it was trouble. It looked like Darian Copeland or Orozco's trying to grab from behind around the waist to slow him down. Ochoa just shows his strength. Good first touch. And just puts it near post to beat Oswald. Tie this match 1-1. That makes 7 goals on the year for Ochoa. And he's just riding a high. He scored 2 goals against Arizona United a week ago. This Wednesday he scored against the Colorado Switchbacks to take that victory 1-0, and now he adds another one here tonight at Rio Tinto.
Something to note, Sean, the Roughnecks lead all USL teams with 295 shots on goal before the start of tonight's match. They're a team that are going to get off the shots. The defense is going to have to step up if the Monarchs are going to look to come away with points in this one.
Yeah,
another giveaway in the midfield.
Head coach David Irving talks a lot about in an interview that he likes attack-oriented teams, attack-style teams, and that's exactly what he's trying to build with the Roughnecks. He says he's trying to put them on the map for soccer in the United States.
The captain, Bond, is going to play it out wide, looking for Black.
You know, Landon, talking about Coach David Irving, he spent 15 years with the Wilmington Hammerheads. He won a national title with them. In his playing days, back in the 70s, he played for Everton in the Premier League. And then in the late 70s, 78 through 80, he played for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers and faced off against the likes of the New York Cosmos, which was the North American Soccer League, the old defunct league that had Pele and Beckenbauer. So he brings a lot of experience, both with his 25 years of coaching and then his playing experience both in Europe and stateside.
1-1 here in the 29th minute of play. Monarchs, Roughnecks in this Western Conference battle. Copeland to Welshman. Looking forward to Oriana. Yeah, throwing for the Monarchs. Captain Baldin will be dispossessed. Plays it right to Velasco. Velasco up top of the 18. Velasco slipping and sliding. Roughnecks looking to break. Miller with it. To Ochoa. Velasco coming back defensively to help out. A nice slide tackle to knock that one out of play.
He's going to want that ball back at his foot. He had a chance. He's in a prime spot on top of the 18 to have a shot, and just his touch lets him down.
Copeland battling with Mata. Looked to have some hands on Mata.
I'm surprised the whistle wasn't blown there.
Would have gone to the spot if so. They were inside, just outside the box, so maybe not a PK, but he'll get away with that one. Follow at USL on Twitter to become a league insider. Join club conversations and have a chance at exclusive giveaways. Another giveaway for the Monarchs in the midfield. Arnone with it. He's going to pick up his head and have time. Baldin out to Sunley.
That's a good run
to
from
Oriana. Oriana's in the box. He'll play it across. Looking for Welshman. Well defended by the Roughnecks. That one's going to be last touched by the Monarchs. Yep. Not a bad-looking attack from the Monarchs on that one, Sean.
It was an intricate run from Maicon Oriana. It was good patience in the build-up from Tyler Arnone, and you also have your captain, Lucas Baldin. They were patient. They allowed for the runs to develop, and then Maicon Oriana started from the middle and goes out wide and beats his defender. Almost finds Emery Welshman on the back stick.
Morell's going to play it back, all the way back to the keeper. Miller looks all over the place as he's, Baloo all over the place. Sunley with it. Looking forward to Welshman. Tries to chip it up over top, and that will be cleared forward. Velasco and the captain, Chad Bond, will collide. In the midfield. Looked like a couple Roughneck players asking for a card to be pulled out, as you'll see that on the replay.
Yeah, Chad Bond and Ricardo Velasco are a little different in size.
Miller inside the box. Great cross and an amazing save by Oswald as he's able to get down and keep that one out of the back of the net. Beautiful save. As we hope to get a chance to replay that one as he was able to keep that one level, or this one level at 1-1.
I think it hit the post as well. Help it keep it out. Should be able to see a replay here shortly. Fortunate enough for the Monarchs to come away with it. Still tied 1-1 because a great build-up from the Roughnecks. Baloo just kicking the air in frustration because he thought that was the go-ahead goal.
Well, Velasco looking for Oriana. Can't contort his body to get that way.
The Roughnecks taking their time on this set piece. It's not easy traveling across the country, going to Arizona, Colorado, now here.
Morel is going to get up and challenge that one with Ochoa. He'll knock it out of play. "35th minute of play. We're tied 1-1 here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Morel hanging all over the back of Ochoa. Ochoa seems to be looking for a call from the AR on the far side.
Good double from Orozco to come help Morel on Ochoa.
Welshman 1v1. Challenging up with Venter. Venter's able to knock that one out of play. Mata's able to draw Arnone in. That ball was quickly played to the near side and was too far for Bonds.
Here we go. Oriana's in. Oh, good slide.
Velasco
tackle.
with a chance. Ooh, just taken out his foot by Fiener.
That was such a good delivery, and Oriana's run again was perfectly timed. The ball just out in front of him, and good tackle. I think that's from Kyle Venter. Prevents a goal. Otherwise, Oriana's 1v1 with Fiener.
Sean, opportunities going both ways here in the last few minutes, as it's all knotted up at 1 here at Rio Tinto Stadium in the 36th minute of play.
Yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of chances to come for the rest of the night. Like I mentioned earlier, the Roughnecks have 38 goals scored on the season and given up 36. So they could score goals, but they definitely give up goals as well. As we see Velasco seeing attention from the center referee for this evening. Oladikan Fuduyail.
Mouthful.
Hopefully I didn't slaughter his name too much.
Let's hope we don't have to call his name too much tonight like we did last week with that brawl that erupted. Rauhofer taking the blunt of the punishment with a 5-game suspension. He won't see action again until the end of this month. So playing the final 4 games for the Monarchs of the season.
That being significant because Rauhofer has 7 goals on the season, leading goal scorer. Here's Balu on the far side.
Balu's going to play it in. Be cut off by Orozco. Kept in by the Roughnecks. Monarchs looking to relieve pressure. That was going to be plucked out of the air by the keeper. Caught in his bread basket.
I have to say, Landon, for Ochoa standing at 6 foot, 215 pounds, he's extremely quick, especially in tight spaces. You don't think he's going to be able to cover the space that he does. You could see that from the goal he scored. You have Orozco on his back trying to fight to hold him, and he showed his strength and his quickness there.
Sean, it's one of the reasons why he was a player for the Sounders. Welshman's going to be called offside.
The assistant referee saying that he came from an offside position when the ball was played.
Ball's going to be on the near side. Henry with it. Baldine going to be taken out from behind. No call.
All sorts of players slipping everywhere, Landon.
You know, Sean, I talked to Freddie Juarez before the game tonight. So there's going to be a nice little move. Crossed into the box. And Arnone was able to get up and knock that one out for a corner kick. As I was mentioning, I talked to Freddie Juarez before tonight's game and asked him about the field conditions and if it had to be something about slippery ground or what was going on, and he mentioned the cleats, just the cleat choice of the players. A lot of players struggling to make the proper decision on what they should wear here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Ball's going to be played quickly in. Copeland, or Morrell, is going to head that one out. Will be kept in by the Roughnecks.
Good double team from Lucas Baldine.
Ball's going to be out of bounds on the far side of the field for a throw-in for the Monarchs.
Lucas Baldine growing up in the Cruz Azul youth system, then went to the University of South Florida and was a Mac Hermann Trophy finalist, one of the final 16, after having 69 appearances, 10 goals, and 9 assists with University of South Florida.
Baloo with it. Miller. Ochoa forward to Baloo. Morrell with the sliding challenge, and that will be another corner kick for the Roughnecks. Their third of the game.
Baloo going for the nutmeg, and Jordan Morrell not falling for it that time.
Corner kick quickly played in. Whipped in. Monarchs looking to break. Welshman's able to bring that one down. Great skill. Velasco forward to Oriana. He's in. He's going to hold things up for a second. Looking into Welshman. No one was there. Baldine with it. Baldine with a shot. Ooh. Off the bar! Lucas Baldine with a beautiful shot. Taken off a volley and tipped into the bar by Jake Feener.
That was destined for the top shelf. What a save from Jacob Feener, and here's the replay. Perfect half volley. If Feener doesn't get a fingertip to that, that's just going just under the crossbar, the underside of the crossbar, going up 2-1 for the Monarchs.
There'll be a corner kick for the Monarchs here in the 42nd minute of play. We're all knotted up 1-1 as Baldine and Morrell are going to take a jog over to the near side corner.
Roughnecks are sending 2 defenders there.
Welshman, Copeland, and Orozco all standing just wide of the PK spot. Ball falls to Welshman. Welshman with a shot. Looking to bend another one into that far post, Sean. He is salivating with these bending balls as that one's going to be tipped for another corner kick for the Monarchs.
Yeah, I thought he maybe waited a bit too long. If he takes it out of the air the first time, he has a little bit more space, but didn't miss by much to find that top shelf on the far corner with a bending shot.
Baloo's going to keep it in. Arnone does great to get back. Monarchs not rolling over in this one as we're all knotted up at 1. Just a few minutes left here in the first half of play.
You know, I like the urgency. I like the attitude that the Monarchs have shown up with, not only from the players, but you could see the animation from the coaching staff throughout this match. They started with this high energy and this desire that they want to perform, especially with a good crowd here tonight at Rio Tinto.
Orozco suddenly not on the same page as Suddenly was looking for a ball to his feet, and Orozco was looking to play him in space.
But Jordan Morrell is forcing the hand of the Roughnecks to defend him, and it's creating space for that secondary run from Alex Sunley and the other midfielders.
Morrell's ball just out in front of Baldine. If he would have been able to find that at his feet, the Monarchs could have possibly gone on the break. Roughnecks out wide on the near side. Defended by McGovern. Great defensive work by McGovern. Arnone's going to play it forward, looking for Oriana. Sunley. Welshman. Great touch by Emery Welshman. He's in. Shot. Saved by Jake Freeney. Freener. Welshman just, that first touch took him to the right side. Got to his preferred right foot. Unleashed a rocket. And that was parried away.
I love his strength he shows in the replay. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he holds the defender off with his arm and takes a first touch out into space where only he can get on the end of it, and then just unleashes a shot that Feener has to just parry away, cannot corral.
2 minutes of stoppage here in this first half. It's going to be knocked out of play over the end line for another Monarchs corner kick. It'll be the fourth of the match. So we're here early on in stoppage time of this first half. 1-1, Roughnecks, Monarchs. Baldine to take it.
Look to see if Copeland and Orozco can lose their marks. It looks so tight in the box.
His ball's played into the far post. Orozco keeps it in. Orozco looked to have his hands on the back. Might have been the reason why he got so opened on the back post.
Looks like it was Darian Copeland that rises up to win that header, but you're right. He's the one that whistled for the foul.
Goal kick, Roughnecks. Velasco Ochoa battle. Oriana is able to keep it in.
I see Welshman on that far side.
Baldine. He'll whip it into the box. Deflection. Falls down. Welshman cleared off the line by Kyle Venter. Welshman just couldn't get enough of that one, Sean. He caught maybe a piece of that ball.
He
if
was
he caught
just
it full,
on the doorstep, just on the doorstep. Unfortunately, he's not able to hit the ball clean, just like you mentioned. He just gets a piece of it.
Moments away from this one being the end of the first half.
That's a soft foul. I don't agree with center referee here. Mike Cohen. Oriana's just rising up, trying to head the ball.
You don't like to see that, Sean, the softness. He's been quite consistent so far, but that one was pretty soft from the center referee.
Especially with the Monarchs pushing, they create chances. And Oriana's just doing everything in his power that he rises up legally to try to challenge. And now they get a free out.
As 45 minutes are done here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Roughnecks, Monarchs 1-1. And what has been a action-packed first half, Sean.
Yeah, Emery Welshman starts us off early with a quality finish off of an assist from Jordan Morrell. Monarchs look to start so positively, and then just a few minutes later, about 10 minutes, 12 minutes later, Sammy Ochoa evens the match 1-1.
Welshman with a goal in the 12th minute. Ochoa with the tying goal in the 27th minute. We'll take a commercial break and be back with some halftime commentary after.
book at RioTintoKennecott.com. By Corner Bakery Cafe. Come get a taste of what's happening at your corner. By Life Vantage, helping people achieve health, wealth, and personal freedom. And the famous Budweiser beer, brewed the hard way, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. This Bud's for you. This halftime report.
We're back live here at Rio Tinto Stadium, where the Monarchs and Roughnecks are tied at 1-1 in what has been an interesting and exciting first half, Sean. Nothing but action throughout the whole first half as both teams have had their opportunities on goal, hitting bars on both sides of the field and really having opportunities on goal all night.
Yeah, Jacob Fiener has come up huge a couple of times for the Roughnecks off of shots from Emery Welshman. Emery Welshman on a couple of occasions. Welshman was at the top of the 18, shot, hard-driven shot, and Fiener parried it over for a corner. And Welshman was on the doorstep on the far post and just he's not able to get complete contact on the ball. Otherwise, he finds the second goal.
Both teams looking to really keep their season going, an inaugural season for both teams. They're both in the situation where they're coming off their inaugural season, trying to make the playoffs. Monarchs have kind of fallen out of contention, but really are still playing for something as a lot of these guys have the opportunity to get action with the first team.
Yeah, we've seen the attitude and the energy has come from the Monarchs tonight. Freddie Juarez in recent interviews has mentioned that these players are playing for a spot on the team, not only this season, but for this upcoming seasons. And with the academy producing so much talent coming through, they're really fighting for a spot for the upcoming seasons. We just had the 24th player out of RSL Arizona Academy signed this week, and he's on the bench tonight, Edgar Duran. He's a forward, had 24 goals out of 42 appearances with the RSL Arizona Academy. And there seems to be more and more players coming out of this academy.
You know, if we take a look at the starting lineup that was played tonight, as we can see the graphic on the screen, you notice a couple of these players are out of the academy. Velasco, Orellana are two of the noticeable ones that you see there and have played great and have been players that have been impactful. The academy has provided many opportunities for the Monarchs, and really, honestly, there's players that are going to continue moving up for the Monarchs. I mean, you mentioned Jose Hernandez, who played last week for the Monarchs, came in and was my man of the match last week, did phenomenal, and really has now transitioned back to the college game. He'll be playing for UCLA this season, but there's many more players like that that are getting up to that level.
Aaron Herrera, another one that just recently signed in the last couple of weeks, so exciting to see young talent coming through.
We'll take another break here live.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty tired yesterday when we came out here, but yeah, just a little bit of everything. But you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how our bodies are feeling. It doesn't matter how our minds are feeling. We got to figure it out, and we got to be right by Saturday. You know, we had a great chance to win both those games. It'd be a lot different feeling if we came back if we would have won that game versus DC. So, you know, we take the game on Tuesday, learn from it, and take it as a good, you know, it's a good road win. It's a great road win. Get in first place in our group, and now we got to do it in the league. And you know, Saturday's our chance to do that. So we'll see.
I mean, Wednesday's travel back was a long day, getting up in the morning, and then by the time we got back in Salt Lake, it was close to midnight. So a little bit jet lagged, but yesterday we just came in and did a regeneration day. Today was, you saw it was light but fun. So right now it's just finding the balance of resting the players that really need it, and then getting the most out of the players that still got a lot in the tank, and going to Vancouver.
We're back into Rio Tinto here at halftime, where the Monarchs and Roughnecks are tied 1-1. Landon Southwick, Sean Blymiller on the call of tonight's game. Sean, looking at what's transpired here in the first half, what adjustments do you make if you're Freddie Juarez here in this second half to keep the momentum moving forward and have an opportunity to win this game in front of your home crowd?
You know, I go back to what he said in the press conference against the OC Blues last week. He said that they were too reliant on possessing out of the back four having the majority of time on the ball. He wanted the midfielders and the forwards to have possession in the middle and attacking third and press the opponent. And then he was talking about OC Blues, of course, but tonight they've done that more often. If you've seen Jordan Morrell and Riley McGovern, they're pressing extremely high up the field and out wide. And what that does, that forces the Roughnecks to defend. And it creates gaps and space for Maicon Oriana and Emery Welshman to run into. When Jordan Morrell a couple times has been on the touchline, almost right next to the bench, it created the space where the outside back came all the way wide, and now there's a gap between the center back and the outside back on the Roughnecks back line, and Maicon Oriana has a pathway to goal now, and they create chances that way.
Both teams like to use their outside backs getting forward, which also leaves you vulnerable, like you've mentioned, and really is going to be a game of cat and mouse to see who can stay home long enough, but who can attack enough to really provide that extra attack on the wings.
Yeah, it comes down to limiting turnovers. Whatever team is going to turn over the ball more often in vulnerable areas is the one that's going to lose this match tonight. And there's been, at the start of the first half, there was a few times that the midfielders turned over the ball in vulnerable spots and left the counterattack open, where the back four were running back towards their own goal. Now, if the Monarchs in the second half can avoid turnovers, especially right in the center of the field, they're going to allow themselves opportunities to keep the ball in dangerous spots on the field and create goal-scoring opportunities with shots on frame.
Really, Sean, they were struggling with that in the first half, giving away silly balls. Arnone, Velasco, Baldine all struggled with that, where they were giving away light balls and it was turning into a quick counterattack for the Roughnecks, who have speed all over this field.
And I would make the argument it's not just tonight. That's been the story of the Monarchs season thus far, I believe, where they possess and they have a lot of passes. They connect on 5, 10, sometimes up to 15 passes in a row, but then someone makes a poor decision, and then that poor decision is punished by them counterattacking the other way. And that's one thing that this team has to learn from. And a lot of has been talked about in interviews and in articles written on this team that they're young. A lot of these guys are 25 years or younger. A lot of them are 23 years old. The guys just out of the academy are obviously high school age, 18 years old. But that doesn't matter, because you have Los Dos, you have Seattle Sounders FC, you have Portland Timbers too. They all have young teams as well that are average age 21, 22 years old, and they're still finding ways to get results. So I think the biggest thing is avoid turnovers, keep possession, and build going forward.
Looks like we will have no changes from the first half of play for either team. Here, start at the second half. 1-1, Monarchs, Roughnecks. Roughnecks playing to keep their playoff hopes alive as they sit in the sixth and final position in the Western Conference, have a 2-point lead, or 2 points up on the OC Blues. The OC Blues, or the Roughnecks, have 2 games in hand, though. So really sitting in a very good situation, but to come away with 3 points or even a point tonight would be a positive for the Roughnecks.
I think they have to go after it. I don't think they can settle for a tie tonight. They have to go for all 3 points, because OC Blues are just breathing down their neck in order to get that final playoff spot.
Copeland and Ochoa went up for that one, and Copeland won it. Baldine's going to come back defensively. Ball's played in, just out of the reach on the near side. Be out of play. So that one does not find the feet of Miller, I believe.
Well, you see the timing on the run from that Ballou on that
correction.
that flank. His timing where he starts out wide and he makes the penetrating run. Luckily, he's not able to connect on his service, but
Sunley.
And this is what we've talked about. You can see the Monarchs stretching the Roughnecks. You see McGovern on the touchline. You even see Maicon Oriana all the way wide as well. You want to stretch this, if you envision an accordion, stretch them as big as possible so then it creates those gaps to play in.
Sunley. He's going to switch the field to the far side to McGovern. Monarchs content with keeping possession. Switching from left to right.
So we talked about this is probably 6-7 passes. Can they combine on that final one?
Welshman almost found the ball. They're just a touch too far for him.
They're so good going side to side and across their back line in possession, but once they start trying to play the ball forward, they have a hard time connecting.
Oriana has a lot of grass in front of him if he can keep it. He's going to go forward. There's going to be a foul called.
He might have been caught with Oriana's elbow. Oriana's just trying to take off on a run. You see him grabbing his face there.
So he's going to get a stern talking to. It's probably his last warning here in this second half of play.
That's Devorin that was the victim of that. Left outside back for the Roughnecks.
Looked to go down pretty easily, but might have caught an elbow by Oriana. Copeland looked to catch one. That shot is just wide. Black blasts that one to the far side. It was bending, had the velocity, had the bend, was just wide though.
You see Darian Copeland receiving attention from the trainer, Marshall Stoddard, being called into action for the second time tonight. Freddie Juarez talking to the fourth official on the sideline. Darian Copeland took an elbow right to the face on this delivery into the top of the 18-yard box. And the second ball lands to Adam Black for the volley.
Sean, interesting to note, it's not his nose, which he was hitting in the first half. It's on his right cheek, meaning there had to have been some contact. Something to watch out for. As the fourth official's there hearing that as well.
Might break out the super glue to seal that wound down.
Great defending by the Monarchs. Welshman's going to hold it up. Looking for Oriana.
Monarchs are still playing with 10 men as Copeland's receiving attention on the sideline.
Roughnecks going to switch it to the near side of the field. Overlapping run. But up and over the head. Will be out of play on the touchline for a goal kick.
Alex Sunley's slid over to become that second center back with Orozco, as Copeland still getting bandaged up here.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. Arnone to Morel. Morel blasts that one off Baloo for a Monarch throw-in. Copeland still getting attention here in the 51st minute of play. Monarchs playing with 10. Morel's going to bring it out of the air. Ball from the keeper. Monarchs have a chance to break and relieve a little bit of pressure as they're moving forward.
They're doing well with 10 men, that's for sure.
Oriana is going to taken out from behind by Henry.
You see Oriana's change of pace, how he can shift quickly. Just blows right by Manibo, and that's why he forces him into a foul.
He's a step further forward, Sean, and gets taken out, and that's a yellow card. Almost a counterattack for the Monarchs as they'll quickly play that one. Oriana's going to go at it. To Baldin. He'll get to the corner, looking for a cross. Be a corner kick for the Monarchs as that's last touched by the Roughnecks. A little debate going on in the corner as that one looked to possibly have hit the hand of Baldin.
Finally, Copeland's going to the fourth official to see if he can come back on.
Baldin, the captain, in the corner. On the far side as Copeland re-enters this one. He's all patched up. Looks to have some bandage below his right eye. Baldin trying to get the crowd on their feet here at Rio Tinto. He plays it in on the near post. Baloo looking to Mata. Arnone is there. Great challenge by Arnone.
Second one again. Oh, I disagree. I disagree 100%. Tyler Arnone won this ball clean.
And Arnone is going to be put in the book here in the 54th minute of play.
I understand his frustration because he does so well on two different occasions to win this ball clean.
You'll see the
Here's
replay
the first
here.
one. He gets up and wins the second one, and Baloo runs into him. That is a foul on Baloo. That is not a foul on Tyler Arnone.
You know, we do have the benefit of the doubt of seeing a replay up here, but Sean, you called it right out there. Great challenge, second challenge, and Arnone's going to pay the price for getting caught. The ref getting caught behind the play. He really was not on top of that one and missed that call, as that should have been the Monarchs moving forward in the attack and breaking up that counterattack.
You hate to see it because he's played so well, and he pays the price and takes a yellow card when he didn't earn it.
Ball's going to be last touched by Venter. So that ball fell through a few players and found his feet. He just was not expecting it.
Yeah, ball skipped off the wet surface and takes a few deflections off of players.
Monarchs, Roughnecks, 1-1 here in the 55th minute of play. McGovern with it on the far side. To Copeland. You hate to have, Sean, your defensive mid in Arnone with a yellow card, especially having played such a great game so far, as he looks to play it on the far side. Over to Oriana, who tries to brace it and bring it down. Great touch by Sunley. Velasco moving forward. Nice little step over. His shot is wide as he tries to put a little bend on that one.
He does a little scissor to set up his left foot shot, but doesn't really ever test Jacob Fiener, doesn't hit the frame.
Black's going to win that one. Ball's in the air. Going to fall. This game's starting to get a little chippy, Sean.
Yeah, both teams are wanting to get a good performance out of their players, fully committed into this.
Baldine forward to Welshman. Welshman did a great job of holding that up. Baldine was just held on to a little bit and was slow to get there.
Can Welshman get on the end of this? Little backspin.
Welshman almost was there. Looked to be draped all over by the center back of the Roughnecks.
Welshman has used his body extremely well tonight to fend off defenders.
Welshman's looked dangerous all night, Sean. He's a player that's really is honestly looking for his second goal. As there was a little bit of a miscommunication in the back by Oswald and McGovern. Oswald was able to clean things up and pluck that out harmlessly in the end. Suddenly a lot of space and time. Baldine to Copeland. Nice crowd on hand here tonight at Rio Tinto Stadium. 4,025 fans on hand.
It's good patience from Monarchs. Now can they find a way to break the Roughnecks down? Because they're just sitting in, waiting for this penetrating ball where they can defend in a group.
Oriana done well on that wide side, but his passes have just been a little bit off. As Mata is going to look forward. Morel is going to cut that one off. Monarchs have numbers in the midfield, so they'll slow things up. Defensively, the Roughnecks have been doing a great job of keeping their shape defensively, Sean.
Yeah, here's a chance to force them into defending.
Oriana falls to Baldine, and Baldine's first touch just gets away from him. We're not done seeing goals in this one, Sean. This one has been exciting from both ends of the field. Back and forth these teams go. It's going to be kept in by Balu. Defended by Morel. He's going to get around Morel. Played to Mata, and Mata was sitting on the PK spot and put that one up and over.
Morel is breathing a sigh of relief after Balu just blows right by him. Fortunate enough, Mata just puts this over the top.
Arnone with it. To Velasco. Oriana brings it down. His touch just away from him. He'll track back defensively and regain possession for the Monarchs. Sunley's going to be called for the foul on Ochoa. Ochoa asking for a card. Not much there.
And that's the build-up. Again, Monarchs combine 5-6 passes, and then a bad touch puts them in a bad position where they turn it over.
Sean, you can hear Coach Freddie Juarez on the far side calling out to his players to get the ball to Oriana, who's standing on the touchline, looking to go forward. His feet are getting wet on the paint. Ochoa, just outside the box, defended by McGovern. Ochoa's cross, going to be knocked out, kept in. That shot's going to be deflected as Velasco went down to knock that one out of play, and he's still down.
I love the commitment from both. Velasco, you see him in the front here sliding, and you also have Alex Sunley just behind him. So it looks like Velasco just takes the shot to vulnerable area. You like to see the commitment there to throw your body in front of shots to make sure that take away any danger.
Another corner for the Roughnecks. Ball's going to be played into the near post. And Arnone is going to clear that out, but there will be a foul. Look to be a high boot or something on the back post. Center referee saw that. So we're going to have our first sub of the afternoon, of the evening.
Looks like Oscar Jimenez is entering the game, number 19. He has 1 goal and 2 assists on the year, 698 minutes played. He's at a Western Washington University, made 72 appearances with them with 17 goals and 22 assists.
In this 63rd minute of play,
So it
we're
looks like
tied 1-1.
Adam Black's the one to make way for him.
Monarchs looking to stretch the Roughnecks wide open in the midfield. Copeland's going to win that one in the air. Baloo. He was going forward. Spaldine's not going to get to this one. Be a throw in on the near side for the Roughnecks.
We saw a lot of success in the opening first half of the Monarchs, where you found Jordan Morel up high as the outside back. That's the instruction we see from Freddy Juarez, trying to find that same space where the Monarchs are able to be on the ball in that high attacking third in possession.
Something to watch for is this one may get a little bit chippy as things are all tied up. The captain for the Roughnecks is sitting on 7 yellow cards. If he gets another yellow card, he'll go in the books for a 2-game suspension. So keep an eye on that for the Roughnecks. Again, we'd like to thank all the Roughnecks fans for joining in here on the YouTube channel. All you local fans here on KMYU. Velasco in the box. To McGovern. McGovern's going to go towards the touchline. Touch is going to get away from him. That'll be out of bounds for a goal kick.
It's good build-up and good patience. Welshman finds Oriana on this right-hand side of the field. Unfortunate that McGovern's not able to get across into the box because they were so dangerous with numbers forward. That's the final product that the Monarchs have been missing out on a consistent basis. They need to be more consistent on it.
It's going to be way up high in the air. And almost found the feet of Jimenez. Jimenez got under it. Orozco lost it. And Jimenez was almost there. If his touch would have been there, he might have had an opportunity on goal, Sean.
It was a difficult ball to bring down out of the air. He did a pretty good job. The touch is just a little bit too heavy.
As you saw there in the replay, it hit his knee on the way back up off the bounce. Monarchs looking to stretch the Roughnecks. So we've mentioned multiple times tonight. Continually switching from left to right. As Welshman slips. Copeland to Baldine. Monarchs going forward. Forward to Welshman. Welshman in goal. Welshman around the keeper. Keeper's out.
Oh.
Velasco slips as he got into the box, and the ball was just too far in front of him.
That was a great ball from Lucas Baldin, and good run from Emery Welshman. Unfortunate not to combine with Velasco, who's streaking alone. He was headed right to the penalty spot, but the ball just goes right by him.
Surprised to not see a card shown right there to Ochoa. He caught Sunley pretty hard after the play on that one. Sunley still a little bit shaken up as he's trying to grab his bearings now. Welshman is a man on a mission tonight, Sean. Scored here in the 12th minute. Has had multiple opportunities since then.
Just missing on those passes. Not far off at all.
It's going to be a cleats up challenge by Mata. Ochoa is going to be shown the yellow. I'd be surprised not to see Mata go here in the book as well. Ochoa shown a yellow for his challenge on Sunley here in the 67th minute of play.
Christian Mata just getting a stern talking to from center referee. You give the signal with both hands, saying no more. But dangerous tackle with his boot as high as Orozco's knee there.
Welshman dropping way into the midfield, looking for Orellana. Going to be out of his reach. Both teams have their subs up, warming up. Reminded all the fans out there, 5 substitutions in the USL. Grants a little more freedom to both these head coaches. It's going to be knocked out of play by Dvorin. On the far side, Orellana to Arnone. To Velasco. Looking for Welshman. Welshman was draped all over by Ryan Price, but no call there. A good battle by both players. Velasco to Baldin. On the far side to McGovern.
It's good patience, good build-up play. A lot of connecting on passes.
McGovern's going to move forward. Looking for Welshman. Played it to his right foot as he was moving in towards the inside. A tough ball to get as your momentum's pulling you the other way to try to slow down your momentum and pick that up with your outside foot.
I'd love to see statistics on possession for the second half. The Monarchs have had the majority of the ball and probably completed a large amount more of passes than the Roughnecks have. Just finding that final ball that's the most difficult part of this game.
Monarchs being patient. 70th minute of play. 1-1, Monarchs Roughnecks. Baldin to Arnone. To Sunley. Roughnecks kind of collapsing back into their defensive third. Doing a good job of keeping their shape and not allowing too many holes so far for the Monarchs. Welshman's going to find it. Morell's going to keep it in. To McGovern.
Velasco's on that far side, just wide open. He was asking for it from Morell earlier. There you go.
Arnone's going to play it wide to him. Velasco plays it into the box. Going to follow McGovern. McGovern slips.
Well done from Copeland, standing strong.
Copeland's going to keep it in. All USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free in HD on YouTube. Connect with the USL YouTube channel today. Velasco out wide. He'll cut in. Chips it in the box, and Welshman's right there. Challenges the keeper. And the Roughnecks are going to look to counter real quick, as Ochoa is going to come from an offside position to an onside position, but we called offside on that one.
We'll see another substitution for the Roughnecks as number 11, Kyrian Kidd, will enter the match. He's from Nigeria, stands at 6 foot, 180 pounds. Looks like, is that Ochoa that's coming off the field? He's looking like he has a bit of a limp.
He's also sitting on a yellow card, but has the goal for the Roughnecks tonight in the 27th minute of play to tie things up in the first half. He's now scored in the last 3 games, including tonight, as you see Kidd make his way onto the pitch.
Ochoa with 7 goals on the year. Balu just behind him with 5.
Monarchs looking to make a sub here shortly.
I imagine Eti Tavares will be coming off the bench.
Baldine to Copeland. Monarchs content possessing the ball here in the second half. Mata pushing the work rate. Arnone, great job to keep that one in for the Monarchs. Velasco looking for Welshman. That will be picked off. Orozco is going to be called for the foul on Mata.
Soft call, in my opinion. It looks like Velasco's pushing higher up the field on the left-hand side, going more of a 4-3-3 with Oriana on the right and Welshman in that target central position. Then Tyler Arnone, Lucas Baldine, and Alex Sunley central.
Free kick just in front of the midfield stripe. Oswald's going to come in and pluck that one out of the air. Going quickly forward to Welshman. Just too far for him. Freddie Juarez is telling Oswald just to play that to the side instead of straight down the middle, so it gives Welshman an opportunity as McGovern's going to get up there. He'll win that challenge, but Roughnecks still moving forward. Ball to the far side. Kept in play by Jordan Morell as he gets down to block the shot and keeps that one in play.
A superb slide tackle, good timing, and keeps his arms in because that's dangerous, right? If his arms are out away from his body on this slide tackle and takes a deflection off his hand, could be called, whistled for a penalty. Just does well to make himself big.
We're all knotted up. 1-1 here at Rio Tinto Stadium in the beautiful Sandy, Utah, here in the 75th minute of play.
I'm a bit surprised by David Irving's approach of the second half. They're more conservative, looking for that counterattack goal, sitting in.
Great touch by Arnone. McGovern making the overlap. He'll get it on the far side. Nice fancy footwork as he clips it in. Plucked out of the air by the keeper. He'll slow things up.
This is trouble.
Moving forward, Mata to the sub. And that one hit his own foot, I believe. And Oswald gets lucky to find that one back at his feet within diving range to pick that one up.
He does very well to come out because Kid thought he had just an easy tuck-away goal to take the lead, but Oswald does so well to get big and just to parry this off of Kid's foot.
Welshman. They're looking for Welshman, Sean, all night up over top, and it's just been a touch too far for him the whole night.
You like to see from time to time for them to be a bit direct. You want the opposing team to get lulled to sleep in the possession and then take that punch to that through ball.
So we're going to see the first sub for the Monarchs coming on. Eti Tavares, as he'll get his final instructions from the coaching staff. "15 minutes of play left. Monarchs going to make their first sub. Baldine looking for the dummy there. Roughnecks patiently giving the opportunity to the Monarchs to possess, but waiting for those counterattacks like you saw with Kidd getting a chance at goal.
Just those bad spots, bad turnovers. Take care of the ball when you have it.
Miller, Velasco going for the challenge. Velasco motioning for the high kick or the boots up from Miller. No call by the center referee. Crowd starting to get a little anxious here at Rio Tinto Stadium. It's going to be blocked and out of play off the back of Morel, as we'll see our first sub of the night for the Monarchs here in the 78th minute of play. Correction, before that, we will see a sub for the Roughnecks.
Number 10, Lucas Cordero. He's out of Brazil. He'll enter the game. Leaving the game is number 20, Christian Mata. And from the announcer, if you've heard locally, here, Eti Tavares enters the game for Lucas Baldin.
Ball's played forward. McGovern just going to clear it out of play. His back was straight in front of the goal. He was facing his own goal. Just going to whip that out of play. Roughnecks looking quickly for an opportunity. Ball's on the 18. The captain over to Kidd. Shot just wide. Kidd being a super sub here in the last few minutes, getting two opportunities, and they've both just been almost there for the game leading goal.
Yeah, Kidd starts deep and checks back to the ball, takes a touch with the inside of his foot to turn, shoots to the far stick, and Oswald covers his goal well, but wasn't far away from that far corner.
Are known with it. '80th minute of play. We're still all knotted up here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Monarchs, Roughnecks, Western Conference matchup. Baloo. Eti just showing his wheels there as he tracks back and played all the way back to the keeper.
And Baloo showed his speed throughout this game as well, but Eti Tavares just flies by him.
Shot blocked by Orozco. McGovern's going to shield that one out, and he's going to be taken out from behind by Devoren. Good sportsmanship by both players. So they get up and shake hands. So we'll see the second sub for the Monarchs here in the 81st minute of play, as Tyler Arnone's going to take a seat on the bench, and Lennon Celestino is going to make an appearance.
I think Tyler Arnone played extremely well tonight. Was that disruptor, destroyer, won a lot of balls back in possession. Lennon Celestino will come in and do the same. He played for Desportivo Brazil and then went and played with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, which is a sister club.
Sean, sitting on a yellow in a game like this, great sub to use. You have 5 of them. An opportunity to replace him with a player that plays very similar to Arnone in the midfield. Very great defensive work rate by Celestino. Gives you fresh legs and an opportunity to continue going forward.
Yeah, he's got a couple years of professional experience under his belt, so he should use that knowledge to sit in the right spot.
Oriana, can he get on the end of this? He'll get there. Knock it out for a corner. As Oriana's catching his breath up against the wall there. He was going full speed and got on the end of that for a corner kick, as Velasco is going to step over and take it. Oriana might have pulled something, as he looks to be holding his left hamstring.
Looks like Garrett Losi is stripping his penny and getting
Velasco's
ready.
going to keep it in. To the far post.
So close.
Suddenly was ready. Oh, it was Celestino, but suddenly was standing there waiting for it to fall to his head. It was cleared out of play for a throw-in on the near side. '84th minute of play. Ball's going to be thrown in. Orozco's going to keep it in. He'll be dispossessed. Roughnecks looking to counter, as Kid's going to play it behind Baloo on the far side, on the near side.
That's a huge favor to the Monarchs, because the Roughnecks had numbers going forward with Monarchs pressed high.
Mikey still getting treatment. Monarchs playing with 10. Welshman with a shot. Saved by the keeper. Great shot. It was dipping, but just didn't have the pace on it, Sean.
Yeah, he went for that near post, and Jacob Fiener stood tall and brought it in. Maybe if he goes to the far post, he has better of a chance, but good technique on the strike.
Yeah, throw in for the Monarchs, as Losi's going to make way, or as Oriana's going to make way for Losi. Another local product. On for the Monarchs. And when I say local, Sean, I'm saying just down the road. He's a Sandy native, played at Alta High School, went on to play at BYU, and then played at Cal State Fullerton. Welshman.
He already gets his first touch and connects with Welshman early on.
Suddenly now wearing the captain's armband with the ball. Losi out wide to McGovern. Great acrobats by Velasco to keep that one in Monarchs' possession. Morel.
You'd want better from there. You had Eti Tavares was stretching on that far side. He's been asking for the ball for the last 30 seconds.
Kid to Baloo. Great challenge by Morrell to knock that one out of play. Throw in on the near side for the Roughnecks.
Referee's whistling for this throw in to come back, saying it was a deflection Monarchs ball.
It's been quite particular tonight, Sean.
Yes,
He's going to make this throw in happen again, almost in the identical spot, but it's going to happen again.
He's brought it back a number of times.
McGovern's going to run onto this one. Can he keep it in? He's going to get there and be challenged with the shoulder. By the Roughnecks player on the great shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. By Jimenez. He has those fresh legs. Losey's getting up and challenging for everything right now as he's come on to this one. 87th minute of play. We're still tied 1-1. As Copeland heads it back to the keeper, just with enough pace on it. Not a, kind of a scary thing to do as a center back, but he was able to get enough pace on it.
You just got to be careful here. Be safe. Don't want to give anything away silly when you work so hard to be at 1-1 right now.
Celestino with a great turn to open things up for the Monarchs. Velasco calling for it. Velasco is going to go forward to Losey. Losey's going to run this one on.
That's unfortunate. Copeland thought he had challenged well, but he's pushing in the back.
Rasco is going to be fouled by Kidd. That one looked to be able to go both ways, but I think Kidd had a stranglehold on the jersey.
Yeah, around almost his leg, trying to get around Copeland.
89th minute of play. We're still knotted up 1-1. Will Etty get his first chance at the ball? That one's going to be cut off. Morrell's going to keep it in. Velasco to Losey. Just in front of Losey.
Just by him. Unfortunate that he's not able to take this touch because he's in alone. Little through ball, just too far out in front of him.
Morrell's going to be called for the foul at midfield. Not quite sure if that was a foul because of the crowds oohing and ahhing of the fall, or if that was actually a foul, but the foul will be called just across the midfield stripe. A stoppage time is going to be announced just a touch early here. It'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time as we still have a minute left in the 90. Quickly played forward.
Good help, double.
Baloo.
Garrett Losey.
Shot. Saved by the keeper. There's going to be a card shown to Devoren.
Multiple Roughnecks players immediately went to the center referee asking for a penalty. Lennon Celestino throwing his hands up in the air saying, "I'm innocent," right away.
So we're now going to enter the 2 minutes of stoppage. Possible calls for a PK, but the ref waved that one off.
Yeah, Lennon Celestino, as soon as he made the challenge, he's signaling that he didn't do anything by putting his hands up in the air saying, "I'm innocent." You see Devoren there completely emotional. He's asking for the penalty. He was given the yellow card.
Monarchs still pushing forward. We've got to be careful. This could turn into a counterattack as Baloo's got wheels. Orozco's there. Orozco. Baloo's going to get around him. It's going to be knocked out of play by Morel.
It's a good thing he slides because on that far stick you have a free runner. I think it's Christian Mata. Or sorry, check that. That's Oscar Jimenez. It's just all alone. All he has to do is have a tap-in goal.
The captain, Bond, will step to the near side to take the corner kick. Through everybody, falls to the feet, and we cleared out by Morel. Throw in for the Roughnecks. They're going to get another opportunity at it. Morel kept in by the Roughnecks as Oswald's going to get up and knock that one away, as that one might have ridden the bar.
Yeah, he does well to use his body to shield himself from any harm against the pole and just parry it out wide.
Not much left in this one, Sean, as they'll get another opportunity. Quickly taken. Going to fall to the feet of the Roughnecks.
Oh.
Wow.
This is I don't
know. No, it was shown towards the PK spot. You could see the center referee pointing to the PK spot. Is he still calling a PK?
I think he's just signaling everyone to get away from him, that he has signaled a penalty. But I think this is a makeup call because I think the Monarch player got elbowed in the face. Alex Sunley got elbowed in the face.
You know, I'm blown away, Sean. And he's not going to talk to his
assistant referee.
Okay, his assistant will clarify, and that's going to be a foul on the Roughnecks. I would have been blown away if he had given that PK, Sean.
And he's going over to McGovern and signaling no more to him. I don't know what McGovern did in that situation.
Can't be much left in this one, Sean. So we've ellipsed the 2-minute, actually the 3-minute mark here in stoppage time. Baloo's going to whip it in. It's going to be cleared out. As the whistle will be blown for full time here at Rio Tinto Stadium, where the Roughnecks and the Monarchs end up with a 1-1 draw here in front of 4,025 fans.
You have 5 or 6 players still assembling around center referee, arguing that there should have been a penalty on 2 different occasions for the Roughnecks. They feel hard done by this result. Monarchs are able to get the 1-1 tie.
Really, Sean, this was a battle from the beginning, going both ways. Both teams had opportunities, and it really ended up being a 1-1 tie. They had their chances. Neither team could capitalize in the second half as they both had opportunities in the first half.
I'm surprised by the Roughnecks. I really thought that they would be coming out all guns blazing in the second half because they need the points to secure their final spot, the 6th spot, and to go to the playoffs. They were more conservative. They sat back. They waited for opportunities to counterattack. Monarchs had the majority of possession, which has been the story for this entire season, especially here at Rio Tinto. But they're just unable to find that final pass, that final penetrating ball, and intricate runs in behind the defense.
Tonight's National Guard man of the match is Emery Welshman with his first half goal in the 12th minute. Really gave the Monarchs life tonight in a lifeless attack that they've had recently. He was the spark that was providing opportunities all night for the Monarchs.
Yeah, you could probably count a number of opportunities that he had. One that stands out is on the 6, on the far side of the 6-yard box. Just doesn't connect cleanly with it. Could have probably gone up 2-1 there. His shot from top of the 18 in the first half, his shot from the top of the 18 on the half volley in the second half. He had the best chances of the match overall, and he's able to bury one of them. Unfortunately, he's not able to bury that second chance.
Not a bad result for the Roughnecks as they were able to add another point to their point total and continue to stay in that 6th spot as they battle for the final position in the Western Conference playoff picture. The Monarchs, on the other hand, got a decent result here at home in front of a larger crowd than normal, and really played well and might have even deserved the victory. Had a few opportunities not go their way. Baldine hit the post in the first half. A couple players had opportunities, but really could not find the back of the net.
Yeah, it was a solid performance. It's something to look forward to because it's one of the best performances of the season. One thing that the Monarchs need to grow on is they need to get more goal-scoring opportunities. Find a way to find the back of the net. The game they scored 3 goals and were able to get a victory against Austin Aztecs. They had 3 goals and from all different players, and they need to see more of that as the season goes on and maybe into next season, next campaign.
These two teams are going to match back up in Tulsa, Oklahoma next Thursday, where both teams are going to get a chance to go at each other again and really battle for that playoff picture for the Rough Riders. We'd like to thank you for joining in today, and we'll sign off here at Rio Tinto Stadium.
Tonight's post-game wrap-up is brought to you by the famous Budweiser beer, brewed the hard way, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. This Bud's for you. By ESPN 700, the home of Real Salt Lake and Monarchs soccer. Listen to every match by tuning in to ESPN 700, Utah's #1 sports talk. Corner Bakery Cafe, come get a taste of what's happening at your corner. And Life Vantage, helping people achieve health, wealth, and personal freedom.